Hello and welcome back to the Geronimo Gonzolaz show. And today we're going to be looking at my personal favourite top 5 weapons of Battlefield 1. Starting with the Automatico M1918 Storm. You are live on the Geronimo and Gonzolaz show.
What? Top's blue time? Meow.
Inspired by an aircraft-mounted gun, the M1918 was the first submachine gun to be used by the Italian military. Now, this is an interesting weapon. It has an extremely high rate of fire, which is 900 RPM, and it only has a fully automatic fire mode. Magazine size is 25, but you get 150 ammo. Now, damage is 21, accuracy 21, hip fire 53, control 28. This is a great weapon. You know, you're not going to get any of those long-range kills, but when you get used to any of these weapons, you can kind of start to at least have an effect beyond its ability. If you tap fire very gently, you can get away with getting some hits quite far away, but obviously the drop-off is rather large. This is my favourite assault weapon. I think a lot of people prefer the Hellriegel factory, which we're going to talk about any second now. But this is generally a pretty devastating weapon when you're running around and up close. Now, in terms of the max drop-off, the damage drop, 100% kind of only lasts really about 5 meters, then it starts to drop off quite heavily by 25, drops off to its max by 50 meters, and stays the same damage amount from 50 meters all the way through. Now that damage drops by about 50%. It's a very fascinating weapon, very useful, and I'm going to do a blog where I look into how they came up with these damage drop rates and graphs. Anyway, moving on. The Hellriegel 1915 factory. An Austrian heavy SMG equipped with a high-capacity drum magazine and water-cooled barrel. Now, this has been probably the most used assault rifle in this game, after everyone unlocked it anyway, for the assault class. Damage is 23, accuracy is 22, hip fire is 36, control is 38. Rate of fire is 650 RPM, so it's a lot slower. Fire mode is again only fully automatic, but it comes with a magazine size of 60, which is super useful because you don't have to reload as often. The reload time is a little bit longer than the Storm, and you get 180 bullets. Now, the damage drop-off is relatively the same. Actually, the drop-off is a little bit quicker than the Automatico. So, you know, it all swings in roundabouts, really. Really useful weapon, and there's a defensive mode of this as well, but the stability is pretty shocking because you have to have it on the bipod. It has more bullets, essentially. That's kind of the payoff, really. More bullets in the magazine, more rounds in the magazine. All right, moving on. So, my next favourite weapon is actually the MG15 NA Suppressive, which is soon becoming one of my favourite weapons. It depends on how you like to play support. If you like to play support, in my opinion, how you're supposed to play support, which is to actually support your players, sit at the back a little bit, spot people, and generally just hold people down as your men move forward, and then this weapon makes the most sense. It has the most bullets, in the most rounds in a magazine. It's literally called the suppressive version of this weapon, which just kind of says it all, really. You really are supposed to sit at the back, hold everyone down, hold it all down, just let your men get to that objective. And I have a lot of fun with this, and it's extremely accurate when it's on the bipod, and you really can rack up those kills with this weapon and play support. In my opinion, how you're supposed to play support. Damage is 27, accuracy is 51, so it's very accurate when it's on the bipod. Hip fire is 25, so it's a bit shit when you get the hip fire. Control 70, again fantastic. Rate of fire is 500 RPM, which is pretty fucking good. Fire modes is again fully automatic only. Magazine is 200 and you get 400, but obviously you just can resupply yourself. So the damage drop is only goes down to by 20%. So you still get about 80% of your damage from kind of 45 meters onwards. So 0 to 15 meters full, 25 it starts to drop off a bit, and by about 40 meters you're still at 80% damage. It's an incredibly useful weapon. I highly recommend trying to play support in that way and utilising this weapon for that. It's going to be the best one for it. At first it feels a little bit like you're not getting into the fight, but you actually realise you're helping your team so much. Anyway, next weapon. So, fourth on the list is a medic weapon. We've actually got 2 medic weapons coming up. We don't have any sniper weapons in this video because there's going to be a lot of sniper we'll do a sniper version. I have a completely different set of kind of rules for the sniper weapons. Anyway, the Mondragon Storm is our 4th weapon on this list. The Mexican Mondragon was the first self-loading rifle to be adopted by a military on a large scale. Some were issued to German infantry, but most were assigned to their air force. I had no idea it was a Mexican weapon. That's fantastically cool. Alright, well, this weapon is bloody great. Damage is 54, which is quite high. Accuracy is 56. Hip fire is 27. Control is 70. Rate of fire is 257 RPM. It's very specific. Single fire mode only. But it fires very, very quickly. Magazine size is 10 out of 80, which is great as well. Now the drop off again, it's like it only drops down by 10%, and at about 35 meters, it is midway between its drop off point between 100% and dropping down to 80%. Super useful weapon, extremely accurate, really fun to play with. I highly recommend this for anyone trying to kind of get stuck into playing a medic. Yes, and moving on to our last weapon is the Seblat's 1986 Factory. Now this is a really cool weapon. It took me a while to get used to. I hated it at first. The damage is fucking insane. Apparently the damage is the same as the Mondragon, which is really weird to me. But its accuracy is 74%, which is much better. The hip fire is pretty shoddy, 27, and control is 35, which isn't great either. But I seem to get a lot of kills with this. You just have to take your time. It's 300 RPM, fire mode again, just single fire. Magazine is 5 out of 70, which is a bit of a problem because the reload speed is huge. Now you have about the same kind of drop off as the Mondragon Storm, but its accuracy is fantastic, and I think that is probably its strongest point here. Is you're probably going to get most of those hits. Worth a try. I think a lot of people don't really play with this weapon, but generally love it, and I think we have a review somewhere. You feel free to check that out. I'll link it in the description. Thanks for following us. Thanks for checking out this video, and please hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this for more of these kind of videos, and a like as well would be fantastic. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you in the next one. Geronimo Gonzolaz.